Hello, welcome back. The next thing we are going to learn how to do is do some problem solving um, using our fractions. Um, you can find both of these worksheets in the Google Drive folder. The first one we're going to work on is under the first worksheet saying adding, subtracting fractions word problems number one. We are actually going to work on number one here. I'm just going to read it out and then I'm going to switch over. So please make sure you have this one out. The question reads, you give 1/3 of a pan of brownies to Susan and 1/6 of a pan of brownies to Patrick. How much of the pan of brownies did you give away? So when we're looking at this guy, there's a couple of things that we need to see. First of all, we have a pan of brownies, and there's a couple of ways we can kind of think of this and do this. First, the way I'm going to show you is using pictures, which I really like. We have to remember, going back here, that we're using a third and a sixth. So when we split our guy up, we want to make sure that we write down 1/3 and 1/6. If we remember from our fraction wall, we can actually have a equivalent fractions between a third and a sixth, which is really kind of cool. Trying to close this bad boy. So what we can do is we can actually split this up into 6 parts. So to do that, I'm going to break it up into, this should be 3 equal parts. I know it's not, but forgive me. And then from there I can split it up again. So if we count it out, I should have 6 equal parts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we look at this, first thing that's said is Pam gives away a third of her brownies. So if we look at this here, we have split it up into 6 parts. So we don't necessarily have to do the third first. I'm actually going to do the sixth first because it's easier. So I'm going to fill in 1/6 of this guy. Now, if we remember from before, we have equivalent fractions, or we can set up equivalent fractions here. If we go back to our word wall, again here, if we look at 6, we can go all the way up. So 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6, which is really, really nice thing to do. So I can fill in another color here. And I can fill in 2 of these guys. If we see here, we have filled in 3/6 of our fractions. Now, if you remember from the Khan Academy videos, whenever we have a fraction, we should check if we can simplify it. And the way we check if we can simplify it is we see if 6 is a multiple of 3 or 3 is a factor of 6. Easiest way to do that is 3 times what number is equal to 6? Well, we can say that 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So we can actually divide both of these guys by a certain number. And we're just going to divide it by 3 here. So we actually get 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So our answer is half. So Pam has given away half of her brownies after she's done that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at a subtraction question. We'll look at question 3 here. Pam walks 7/8 of a mile to school and Paul walks 1/2 of a mile to school. How much farther does Pam walk than Paul? So if we go back here, we have 7/8 and 1/2, and this is Pam, and this is Paul. If we remember our ordering numbers, we know that 7/8 is in fact greater than 1/2, which is good. I'm just going to get rid of these guys here. Redraw our 8. So what we actually need to do is we have a subtraction question, because Pam has walked this far, Paul has, Pam has walked this far, Paul has walked this far. So we need to figure out how much further did Pam walk, and that's a simple subtraction kind of thing. First thing we check is we do not have like denominators, so we need to change one of these guys. We could try to change the 8 into a 2, and the way we do that is we divide by 4. But if we do that, 7 divided by 4 doesn't really give us a nice number, so we're not going to worry about that one. We're going to try to go the other way. When we look at this guy here, what do we have to do to 2 to make it an 8? Well, we go 2 times the number is equal to 8, so we're going to say 2 times 4. Whatever we do to the bottom, we also do the top. So we have a new expression here. We have 7/8 minus 4/8. And hey, look, we have like denominators now, so this is a super easy question. We go 7 minus 4 all over 8, which is 3/8. So then we say Pam walked 3/8 of a mile further than Paul. And that's the last thing I'll tell you, is if it's asked in a sentence or some words, you should answer in a sentence or words. Thanks a whole bunch, and I'd like you guys to work on those 2 worksheets. The answers are provided, so when you finish, you can check your work. Okay, thanks a whole bunch, and good luck.